Did you know that less than 1% of the human population have one brown eye and one blue eye? Janis Sanders had those beautiful eyes. They complemented her freckles and red hair. She was really a beautiful lady, and she worked as a waitress at Pete's Patio in Niles, Michigan. She came to work that night, wearing a black jumper-type dress and a long-sleeve, collared, rose-colored shirt. She slipped on black pantyhose and white shoes before leaving the house, and finished off her demure outfit with gold earrings and a gold watch with a black leather band. She was working the last night she was ever seen, back in 1975. Janis had dumped her scumbag boyfriend and moved back in with her parents. She was 24 years old and had been married once before. She and her 2 kids from her previous marriage moved in with her folks in South Bend, Indiana, to escape an abusive boyfriend that she'd gotten involved with after her divorce. On July 20th, 1975, she began her regular day. She looked after her kids, and then later in the day, she drove from South Bend to Niles, Michigan for her shift waitressing at Pete's Patio, an Italian restaurant with a bar in Niles. It was a regular evening, and her shift ended around midnight. But when she began walking out of the restaurant to get in her car, her boyfriend, that she'd dumped the week before, followed her outside. Trying to make it to her car, she started to walk away from him, but witnesses say he began acting like a madman, screaming, ranting, making a scene. They said Janis looked scared, but no one thought to intervene, and Janis was never seen again. The witnesses continued on their way, minding their own business, and didn't see what happened to Janis. No one saw how she left the parking lot that night. No one knows if she drove her own car away to meet him somewhere to talk, or if he physically took her against her will. I could not find any reports of anyone saying anything looked amiss in the parking lot the next day. Her family noticed something was wrong right away, and they reported her missing the next day, July 21st. No sign of Janis was found until August 5th, when her 1973 or 1974 AMC Matador was found parked at the Holiday Inn on 11th Street in Niles. It was parked all the way to the rear of the building in the back parking lot. No sign of Janis was found in or around her car or at the hotel. In the years since, Holiday Inn had a name change to Niles Inn and is now abandoned. As the months went by, there was still no sign of Janis, and police were really looking hard at her former boyfriend, Gerald Casimir Jerry Liberdowski Jr. Pretty soon law enforcement realized that Janis wasn't the only girlfriend of his to go missing. In 1973, Jerry had been involved with a lady named Janis Langs, and she vanished that year in 1973, 2 years before he started seeing Janis. In 1976, Jerry was charged with murdering both women after Janis's wallet and a pill bottle with Janis's name on it were found in the crawl space under his house, though their remains had not been found. Jerry was taken to trial for allegedly murdering Janis, and during the trial, he claimed that he did, in fact, know what happened to Janis, who disappeared, also at the age of 24, in November of 1973. Jerry said he'd been too afraid to come forward before now, because he'd seen another woman bury Janis alive. That claim, along with lack of evidence, led to Jerry being acquitted of all charges related to Janis, and the charges related to Janis's disappearance were also dropped. During the trial, though, it was said that Jerry allegedly told a business partner about having murdered 2 women. But he was free nonetheless, and he never faced charges again related to the missing women, and no one else has ever been charged either. Jerry went on and lived his life, while Janis's family and Janis's family never found out what happened to them. Jerry died at the age of 67 in 2010, and the locations of Janis and Janis may have died with him. But it's not far-fetched to think that if Jerry really was responsible and really did tell his business partner about murdering 2 women, maybe he told someone else where he left them. Janis left behind 2 small children who grew up without their mother, presumably because she didn't want to be with her boyfriend anymore. They never even got to know what happened to her. And that's really sad.